And it's so interesting because there are so many people, you know, that are recognizing that podcasting is something to do now. Like you said, it's 2022, right? But there's, like you say, so many people who are out here and we're just doing it wrong, right? You know what I'm saying? We're not going about it the right way. I mean, just to be honest, right? Because at the end of the day, people want to start it, they want to get into it, but they also want to get into it and start it so that it can be self-supporting, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
everything is better when it's self-sustaining, right? When we don't have to rob Peter to pay Paul. There's so many people out there who are not making money with podcasting, right? You know what I mean? That it could also discourage people from, you know, putting the work and energy in. What type of what is the input that people would have to put into their podcast, right, in order to actually get profitability out on the other side? That's what my question is, right? Like, because again, and I'm just saying it because I know people are going to say, well, oh, I know so-and-so, I know this person, I know that person, right? They've done a podcast or they do this over here, right? But they're not making any money. They're just doing it. They just love it, right? But it's like a lot of times, but they're then also another framework of people, if they would go into a different room, who having a completely different result, right? And so what is the input that these individuals need to understand that, yeah, you can do it, but these are the inputs that you got to put in to get this out on the other side. What would you say some of those inputs are?
Yeah. So I tell my community, I tell them that a podcast is a marriage, man. Like it's a marriage, because it requires a lot of you. However, if you nurture by taking the time and learning and studying the craft, and if you take time and you share with the podcast, then ultimately the way that you can get to what everybody seems to want to get to, even though everybody don't say it, everybody's like, I want to grow my show. Well, why do you want to grow your show? Because I want to make money. Okay, thank you. You should have just led with that. but the biggest thing, Lionel, is one, you have to be consistent. And shout out to big bro David Shands, because he always talks about it. He says consistency is something we struggle with as human beings. But the thing that we must understand is consistency anywhere will reap a harvest. Anywhere. So in terms of consistency, here's I was gonna say a quick play, but if you're consistent with your podcast content, people will eventually comment. People will eventually start to follow you. As these people are following, as these people are commenting, that's when you got to hook them and engage them. Slide in somebody's DM, hit them with a message, and then ask them, why did you follow? Or when you listen to my show, what's a current challenge that you're facing? And then you take notes. You take notes.
Got you.
You take note, because if I know the challenge that you're facing and then you're one of my people, I typically should have the solution, or I can go find it.
Right.
And then that's when people are already there because they like hearing your voice. They like hearing the content. All you got to do is then create the solution for them.
Right.
Let 10 people tell you what their current struggle is in their real estate journey. And then let it be 10 different things. And then you can put together an ebook. And then there they go. You can sell it for whatever price you want to sell it for.
That makes sense.
And let me just take you one step further. I'm just going to walk this thing down, man, just so that people get value. Just so that people get value. We take the ebook, right? Then somebody's like, man, I bought the ebook. Like now, I bought the ebook. I read the ebook. I loved it, man. But now I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you. You say, well, okay, well, what that could look like is, we have the one-on-one consulting we could do, or you can walk them down even further to where you can do a one-to-many model and you can do the group coaching. Because you say, I know you want to talk to me. I'm going to be in the group. And I think you'll be able to benefit from the community because you get to network with these other individuals who might be in real estate, but also the questions they ask are going to add value in addition to the question that you're going to ask. So everybody's getting insight and we're all growing together.
That's powerful. So it's almost like you just put together a step-by-step model that out of this podcast, you have grown legs to it, to where you can basically walk people up this chain, because there's going to be, what I'm learning, right, even in my real estate, journey, is at every new stage of growth, right, and expansion, there's new problems.
Oh, most definitely.
It's new problems, right? You know what I mean? And so you solve this one thing, and now you're at this different level, and now you got two other problems that you got to figure out how to solve. And that's kind of what I'm hearing when you're saying this, right? There's this value that we're providing through our podcast based on the abilities and the skills we have, right? Which is probably based on the need that we had, that now we've learned something, we're just simply sharing.
Most definitely.
But then when somebody gets that information, they're going to need, like you say, I really need a little bit more intimate, connection with you, right, on specifics. Then you can join them to this one-on-one or this group coaching, but then they may need something a little bit more intricate, right? And so it's like, because at every step, there's more needs, right, that come out, and you may have the solution to that, and you're just really just providing, the solution, like you said, to the problems that they have. So thanks for watching the Lion and Lambo podcast. We hope this clip has been a huge blessing to you, and we want to remind you that we drop new videos, new podcast episodes every Sunday at 9 o'clock. You can find the full episode by clicking the card up at the top right of this video. If you prefer an audio-only experience, then we want to let you know that we're streaming through every major podcast streaming platform. For the full list, you can go to www.lionandthelambo.com. Until next time, go impact the world.